Hi, I'm back. I'll be reading some more from this Bible. Genesis chapter 24. Isaac marries Rebekah. Abraham was now a very old man, and the Lord had blessed him in every way. One day Abraham said to the man in charge of his household, who was his oldest servant, swear by the Lord, the God of heaven and earth, that you will not let my son marry one of these local Canaanite women. Go instead to my homeland, to my relatives, and find a wife there for my son Isaac. The servant asked, but suppose I can't find a young woman who will travel so far from home. May I then take Isaac there to live among your relatives? No, Abraham warned. Be careful never to take my son there, for the Lord, the God of heaven, who took me from my father's house and my native land, solemnly promised to give this land to my offspring. He will send his angel ahead of you, and he will see to it that you find a young woman there to be my son's wife. If she is unwilling to come back with you, then you are free from this oath. But under no circumstances are you to take my son there. So the servant took a solemn oath that he would follow Abraham's instructions. He loaded 10 of Abraham's camels with gifts, and set out, taking with him the best of everything his master owned. He traveled to Aram, Naharaim, and went to the village where Abraham's brother Nahor had settled. There the servant made the camels kneel down beside a well just outside the village. It was evening, and the women were coming out to draw water. O Lord, God of my master, he prayed, give me success and show kindness to my master Abraham. Help me to accomplish the purpose of my journey. See, here I am, standing beside this spring, and the young women of the village are coming out to draw water. This is my request. I will ask one of them for a drink. If she says yes, certainly, and I will water your camels too. Let her be the one you have appointed as Isaac's wife. By this I will know that you have shown kindness to my master. As he was still praying, a young woman named Rebekah arrived with a water jug on her shoulder. Her father was Bethuel, who was the son of Abraham's brother Nahor, and his wife Milcah. Now Rebekah was very beautiful, and she was a virgin. No man had ever slept with her. She went down to the spring, filled her jug, and came up again. Running over to her, the servant asked, "Please give me a drink." "A drink." "Certainly, sir," she said, and she quickly lowered the jug for him to drink. When he had finished, she said, I will draw water for your camels too, until they have had enough." So she quickly emptied the jug into the watering trough and went down to the well again. She kept carrying water to the camels until they had finished drinking. The servant watched her in silence, wondering whether or not she was the one the Lord intended him to meet. Then at last, when the camels had finished drinking, he gave her a gold ring for her nose and 2 large gold bracelets for her wrist. "Whose daughter are you?" he asked. "Would your father have any room to put us up for the night?" "For the night? My father is Bethur," she replied. "My grandparents are Nahor and Milcah. Yes, we have plenty of straw and food for the camels, and we have a room for guests." The man fell down to the ground and worshipped the Lord. "Praise be to the Lord, the God of my master Abraham," he said. "The Lord has been so kind and faithful to Abraham, for he has led me straight to my master's relatives." The young woman ran home to tell her family about all that had happened. Now Rebekah had a brother named Laban. When he saw the nose ring and the bracelets on his sister's wrist, and when he heard her story, he rushed out to the spring where the man was still standing beside his camels. Laban said to him, "Come and stay with us, you who are blessed by the Lord. Why do you stand here outside the village when we have a room all ready for you and a place prepared for the camels?" So the man went home with Laban, and Laban unloaded the camels, gave him straw to bed them down, fed them, and provided water for the camel drivers to wash their feet. Then supper was served, but Abraham's servant said, "I don't want to eat until I have told you why I have come." "All right," Laban said, "tell us your mission." "I am Abraham's servant," he explained, "and the Lord has blessed my master richly. He has become a great man. The Lord has given him flocks of sheep and herds of cattle, a fortune in silver and gold, and many servants and camels and donkeys. When Sarah, my master's wife, was very old, she gave birth to my master's son, and my master has given him everything he owns, and my master made me swear that I would not let Isaac marry one of the local Canaanite women. Instead, I was to come to his relatives here in this far-off land, to his father's home. I was told to bring back a young woman from here to marry his son. But suppose I can't find a young woman willing to come back with me, I asked him. You will, he told me, for the Lord in whose presence I have walked will send his angel with you and will make your mission successful. Yes, you must get a wife for my son from among my relatives from my father's family. But if you go to my relatives and they refuse to let her come, you will be free from your oath. So this afternoon, when I came to the spring, I prayed this prayer. O Lord, the God of my master Abraham, if you are planning to make my mission a success, please guide me in a special way. Here I am, standing beside this spring. I will say to some young woman who comes to draw water, please give me a drink of water, and she will reply, certainly, and I will water your camels too. Lord, let her be the one you have selected to be the wife of my master's son. Before I had finished praying these words, I saw Rebecca coming along with a water jug on her shoulder. She went down to the spring and drew water and filled the jug. So I said to her, please, give me a drink. She quickly lowered the jug from her shoulders so I could drink, and she said, certainly so. And I will water your camels too. And she did. Life then, life now, jewelry. Abraham's servant gave Rebecca jewels set in gold and silver. Jewelry worn in Bible times looked a lot like jewelry worn today. Many of the gems we select for jewelry today are the same kinds they use. Women had pierced ears and wore wrist and ankle bracelets made mostly from gold. Some women also wore rings in their noses. And she did. When I asked her whose daughter she was, she told me, my father is Bethuel, the son of Nahor, and his wife Milcah. So I gave her the ring and the bracelets. Then I bowed my head and worshipped the Lord. I praised the Lord, the God of my master Abraham, because he had led me along the right path to find a wife from the family of my master's relatives. So tell me, will you or won't you so true kindness to my master? When you tell me, then I will know what my next step should be, whether to move this way or that. Then Laban and Bethuel replied, the Lord has obviously brought you here. So what? Can we say, here is Rebecca. Take her. Take her and go. Yes, let her be the wife of your master's son, as the Lord has directed. At this reply, Abraham's servant bowed to the ground and worshipped the Lord. Then he brought out silver and gold jewelry and lovely clothing for Rebekah. He also gave valuable presents to her mother and brother. Then they had supper, and the servant and the men with them stayed there overnight. But early the next morning he said, "Send me back to my master. But we want Rebekah to stay at least 10 days, her brother and mother said. Then she can go." But he said, "Don't hinder my return. The Lord has made my mission successful, and I want to report back to my master. Well, they said, "We will call Rebekah and ask her what she thinks." So they called Rebekah. "Are you willing to go with this man?" they asked her. And she replied, "Yes, I will go." So they said goodbye to Rebekah and sent her away with Abraham's servant and his men. The woman who had been Rebekah's childhood nurse went along with her. They blessed her with this blessing as she parted. "Our sister, may you become the mother of many millions. May your descendants overcome all their enemies." Then Rebekah and her servants mounted the camels and left with Abraham's servant. Meanwhile, Isaac, whose home was in the Negev, had returned from Beerlahairoi one evening, as he was taking a walk out in the fields meditating. He looked up and saw the camels coming. When Rebekah looked up and saw Isaac, she quickly dismounted. "Who is that man walking through the fields to meet us?" she asked the servant. And he replied, "It is my master." So Rebekah covered her face with her veil. Then the servant told Isaac the whole story, and Isaac brought Rebekah into his mother's tent, and she became his wife. He loved her very much, and she was a special comfort to him after the death of his mother. Genesis chapter 25, the death of Abraham. Now Abraham married again. Keturah was his new wife, and she bore him Zimran, Joksan, Medan, Midian, Ishbak, and Shuah. Sham, Potiphar's two sons were Sheba and Dedan. Dedan, Potiphar's descendants were the Asses, Huites, Letusites, and Leummites. Midian, Potiphar's sons were Ephah, Epher, Hanoch, Abida, and Eldaaah. These were all descendants of Abraham through Keturah. Abraham left everything he owned to his son Isaac, but before he died, he gave gifts to the sons of his concubines and sent them off to the east away from Isaac. Abraham lived for 175 years, and he died at a ripe old age, joining his ancestors in death. His sons Isaac and Ishmael buried him in the cave of Machpelah near Mamre, in the field of Ephron, son of Zohar, the Hittit. This was the field Abraham had purchased from the Hittites, where he had buried his wife Sarah. After Abraham's death, God poured out rich blessings on Isaac, who settled near Beerlahairoi and the Negev, Ishmael's descendants. This is the history of the descendants of Ishmael, the son of Abraham, through Hagar, Sarah's Egyptian servant. Here is a list by their names and clans of Ishmael's descendants. The oldest was Nebaioth, followed by Kedar, Abdeel, Mibsam, Mishma, Dumah, Massa, Hadad, Tema, Jetur, Naphish, and Kedemah. These 12 sons of Ishmael became the founders of 12 tribes that bore their names, listed according to the places they settled and camped. Ishmael finally died at the age of 137 and joined his ancestors in death. Ishmael's descendants were scattered across the country from Havilah to Shur, which is east of Egypt, in the direction of Asshur. The clans descended from Ishmael camped close to one another. The births of Jacob and Esau. This is the history of the family of Isaac, the son of Abraham. When Isaac was 40 years old, he married Rebekah, the daughter of Bethuel, the Aramean, from Paddan Aram, and the sister of Laban. Isaac pleaded with the Lord to give Rebekah a child because she was childless. So the Lord answered Isaac's prayer, and his wife became pregnant with twins. But the two children struggled with each other in her womb, so she went to ask the Lord about it. Why is this happening to me? She asked. And the Lord told her, the sons in your womb will become two rival nations. One nation will be stronger than the other. The descendants of your older son will serve the descendants of your younger son. And when the time came, the twins were born. The first was very red at birth. He was covered with so much hair that one would think he was wearing a piece of clothing. So they called him Ezeu. Then the other twin was born, with his hand grasping Ezeu's heel. So they called him Jacob. Isaac was 60 years old when the twins were born. Ezeu sells his birthright. As the boys grew up, Ezeu became a skillful hunter, a man of the open fields, while Jacob was the kind of person who liked to stay at home. Isaac loved Ezeu in particular because of the wild game he brought home, but Rebekah favored Jacob. One day when Jacob was cooking some stew, Ezeu arrived home exhausted and hungry from a hunt. Ezeu said to Jacob, "I am starved. Give me some of that red stew you have made." This was how Ezeu got his other name, Edom, red. Jacob replied, "All right, betrayed me. Your birthright for it. Look, I am dying of starvation," said Ezeu. "What good is my birthright to me now? So Jacob insisted, "Well then, swear to me right now that it is mine." So Ezeu swore an oath, thereby selling all his rights as the firstborn to his younger brother. Then Jacob gave Ezeu some bread and lentil stew. Ezeu ate and drank and went on about his business, indifferent to the fact that he had given up his birthright. Genesis chapter 26. Isaac deceives, Abimelech. Now a severe famine struck the land, as had happened before in Abraham's time. So Isaac moved to Gerar, where Abimelech, king of the Philistines, lived. The Lord appeared to him there and said, "Do not go to Egypt. Do as I say and stay here in this land. If you do, I will be with you and bless you. I will give all this land to you and your descendants, just as I solemnly promised Abraham your father. I will cause your descendants to become as numerous as the stars, and I will give them all these lands, and through your descendants all the nations of the earth will be blessed. I would do this because Abraham listened to me and obeyed all my requirements, commands, regulations, and laws. So Isaac stayed in Gerar, and when the men there asked him about Rebekah, he said, "She is my sister." He was afraid to admit that she was his wife. He thought they would kill him to get her, because she was very beautiful. But sometime later, Abimelech, king of the Philistines, looked out a window and saw Isaac fondling Rebekah. Abimelech called for Isaac and exclaimed, "She is obviously your wife. Why did you say she was your sister?" Your sister. "Because I was afraid someone would kill me to get her from me," Isaac replied. "How could you treat us this way?" Abimelech exclaimed, "Someone might have taken your wife and slept with her, and you would have made us guilty of great sin." Then Abimelech made a public proclamation, "Anyone who harms this man or his wife will die. Conflict over water rights. That year, Isaac's crops were tremendous. He harvested a 100 times more grain than he planted, for the Lord blessed him. He became a rich man, and his wealth only continued to grow. He acquired large flocks of sheep and goats, great herds of cattle, and many servants. Soon the Philistines became jealous of him, and they filled up all of Isaac's wells with earth. These were the wells that had been dug by the servants of his father Abraham. And Abimelech asked Isaac to leave the country. "Go somewhere else," he said, for you have become too rich and powerful for us." So Isaac moved to the Gerar Valley and lived there instead. He reopened the wells his father had dug, which the Philistines had filled in after Abraham's death. Isaac renamed them using the names Abraham had given them. His shepherds also dug in the Gerar Valley and found a gushing spring. But then the local shepherds came and claimed the spring. "This is our water," they said, and they argued over it with Isaac's herdsmen. So Isaac named the well argument because they had argued about it with him. Isaac's men then dug another well, but again there was a fight over it. So Isaac named it Opposition. Abandoning that one, he dug another well, and the local people finally left him alone. So Isaac called it Room Enough, for he said, "At last the Lord has made room for us, and we will be able to thrive." From there, Isaac moved to Beersheba, where the Lord appeared to him on the night of his arrival. "I am the God of your father Abraham," he said. "Do not be afraid, for I am with you and will bless you. I will give you many descendants, and they will become a great nation. I will do this because of my promise to Abraham, my servant." Then Isaac built an altar there and worshipped the Lord. He set up his camp at that place, and his servants dug a well. dug a well, a treaty with Abimelech. One day Isaac had visitors from Gerar. King Abimelech arrived with his advisor Ahuzzath, and also Phicol, his army commander. Why have you come? Isaac asked them. This is obviously no friendly visit since you sent me from your land in a most unfriendly way. They replied, we can plainly see that the Lord is with you, so we decided we should have a treaty, a covenant between us. Swear that you will not harm us, just as we did not harm you. We have always treated you well, and we sent you away from us in peace. And now look how the Lord has blessed you. So Isaac prepared a great feast for them, and they ate and drank in preparation for the treaty ceremony. Early the next morning they each took a solemn oath of non aggression. Then Isaac sent them home again in peace. That very day Isaac's servants came and told him about a well they had dug. We have found water, they said. So Isaac named the well Oath, and from that time to this, the town that grew up there has been called Beersheba, well of the oath. At the age of 40, as you married a young woman named Judith, the daughter of Beeri, the Hittite. He also married Basemath, the daughter of Elon, the Hittite. But as used wise, made life miserable for Isaac and Rebekah. Genesis chapter 27. Jacob steals Esau's blessing. When Isaac was old and almost blind, he called for Esau, his oldest son, and said, "My son." "Yes, father," Esau replied. "I am an old man now," Isaac said, and I expect every day to be my last. Take your bow and a quiver full of arrows out into the open country and hunt some wild game for me. Prepare it just the way I like it, so it's savory and good, and bring it here for me to eat. Then I will pronounce the blessing that belongs to you, my firstborn son, before I die. But Rebekah overheard the conversation. So when Esau left to hunt for the wild game, she said to her son Jacob, "I overheard your father asking Esau to prepare him a delicious meal of wild game. He wants to bless Esau in the Lord's presence before he dies. Now, my son, do exactly as I tell you. Go out to the flocks and bring me 2 fine young goats. I will prepare your father's favorite dish from them. Take the food to your father your father. Then he can eat it and bless you instead of Esau before he dies. Before he dies. But Mother Jacob replied, He won't be fooled that easily. Think how hairy Esau is and how smooth my skin is. What if my father touches me? He will see that I am trying to trick him, and then he will curse me instead of blessing me. Let the curse fall on me, dear son, said Rebecca. So Rebecca, just do what I tell you. Go out and get the goats. So Jacob followed his mother's instructions, bringing her the 2 goats. She took them and cooked a delicious meat dish, just the way Isaac liked it. Then she took Esau's best clothes, which were there in the house, and dressed Jacob with them. She made him a pair of gloves from the hairy skin of the other young goats, and she fastened a strip of the goat skin around his neck. Then she gave him the meat dish with its rich aroma and some freshly baked bread. Jacob carried the platter of food to his father and said, My father. Yes, my son, he answered. Who is it? Esau or Jacob? Jacob replied, It's Esau, your older son. I have done as you told me. Here is the wild game, cooked the way you like it. Sit up and eat it so you can. Give me your blessing. Isaac asked, How were you able to find it so quickly, my son? Because the Lord your God put it in my path, Jacob replied. Then Isaac said to Jacob, Come over here. I want to touch you, to make sure you really are Esau. So Jacob went over to his father, and Isaac touched him. The voice is Jacob's, but the hands are Esau's. Isaac said to himself, but he did not recognize Jacob, because Jacob's hands felt hairy, just like Esau. So Isaac pronounced his blessing on Jacob. Are you really my son Esau? He asked. Yes, of course, Jacob replied. Then Isaac said, Now, my son, bring me the meat. I will eat it, and then I will give you my blessing. So Jacob took the food over to his father, and Isaac ate it. He also drank the wine that Jacob served him. Then Isaac said, Come here and kiss me, my son. So Jacob went over and kissed him. And when Isaac caught the smell of his clothes, he was finally convinced, and he blessed his son. He said, The smell of my son is the good smell of the open fields that the Lord has blessed. May God always give you plenty of dew for healthy crops and good harvests of grain and wine. May many nations become your servants. May you be the master of your brothers. May all your mother's sons bow low before you. All who curse you are cursed, and all who bless you are blessed. As soon as Isaac had blessed Jacob, And almost before Jacob had left his father, Esau returned from his hunting trip. Esau prepared his father's favorite meat dish and brought it to him. Brought it to him. Then he said, "I'm back, father, and I have the wild game. Sit up and eat it so you can give me your blessing." But Isaac asked him, "Who are you?" "Why, it's me, of course," he replied. "It's Esau, your older son." Your older son. Isaac began to tremble uncontrollably and said, "Then who was it that just served me wild game? I have already eaten it," and I blessed him with an irrevocable blessing. Before you came, when as you understood, he let out a loud and bitter cry. "Oh, my father, bless me too," he begged. But Isaac said, "Your brother was here, and he tricked me. He has carried away your blessing. As you said bitterly, "No wonder his name is Jacob, for he has deceived me twice. First, taking my birthright, and now stealing my blessing. Oh, haven't you saved even one blessing for me?" Isaac said to Esau, I have made Jacob your master, and have declared that all his brothers will be his servants. I have guaranteed him an abundance of grain and wine. What is there left to give? As you pleaded, not one blessing left for me. "Oh, my father, bless me too." Then Esau broke down and wept. His father Isaac said to him, You will live off the land and what it yields, and you will live by your sword. You will serve your brother for a time, but then you will shake loose from him and be free. Jacob flees to Paddan-aram. Esau hated Jacob because he had stolen his blessing, and he said to himself, "My father will soon be dead and gone. Then I will kill Jacob." But someone got wind of what Esau was planning and reported it to Rebekah. She sent for Jacob and told him, "Esau is threatening to kill you. This is what you should do. Flee to your uncle Laban and Haran. Stay there with him until your brother's fury is spent. When he forgets what you have done, I will send for you. Why should I lose both of you in one day?" Then Rebekah said to Isaac, "I am sick and tired of these local Hittite women. I'd rather die than see Jacob marry one of them." How can I stop feeling so lonely? The Lord said, I will be with you, and I will protect you wherever you go. From Genesis chapter 28, verse 15. Genesis chapter 28. So Isaac called for Jacob, blessed him, and said, do not marry any of these Canaanite women. Instead, go at once to Paddan Aram, to the house of your grandfather Bethuel, and marry one of your uncle Laban and Potiphar's daughters. May God Almighty bless you and give you many children, and may your descendants become a great assembly of nations. May God pass on to you and your descendants the blessings he promised to Abraham. May you own this land where we now are foreigners, for God gave it to Abraham. So Isaac sent Jacob away, and he went to Paddan Aram to stay with his uncle Laban, his mother's brother, the son of Bethuel, the Aram. As you heard that his father had blessed Jacob and sent him to Paddan Aram to find a wife, and that he had warned Jacob not to marry a Canaanite woman. He also knew that Jacob had obeyed his parents and gone to Paddan Aram. It was now very clear to Esau that his father despised the local Canaanite woman, so he visited his uncle Issachar's family and married one of Issachar's daughters. In addition to the wives he already had, his new wife's name was Mahalath. She was the sister of Nebaioth, and the daughter of Issachar, Abraham's son. Jacob's dream at Bethel. Almost done. Meanwhile, Jacob left Beersheba and traveled toward Haran. At sundown, he arrived at a good place to set up camp and stop there for the night. Jacob found a stone for a pillow and lay down to sleep. As he slept, he dreamed of a stairway that reached from earth to heaven, and he saw the angels of God going up and down on it. At the top of the stairway stood the Lord, and he said, I am the Lord, the God of your grandfather Abraham, and the God of your father Isaac. The ground you are lying on belongs to you. I will give it to you and your descendants. Your descendants will be as numerous as the dust of the earth. They will cover the land from east to west and from north to south. All the families of the earth will be blessed through you and your descendants. What's more, I will be with you. What's more, I will be with you, and I will protect you wherever you go. I will someday bring you safely back to this land. I will be safely back to this land. I will be with you constantly until I have finished giving you everything I have promised. Then Jacob woke up and said, surely the Lord is in this place, and I wasn't even aware of it. He was afraid and said, what an awesome place this is. It is none other than the house of God, the gateway to heaven. The next morning he got up very early. He took the stone he had used as a pillar and set it upright as a menorah pillar. Then he poured olive oil over it. He named the place Bethel, house of God, though the name of the nearby village was El-Uz. Then Jacob made this vow. If God will be with me and protect me on this journey and give me food and clothing, and if he will bring me back safely to my father, then I will make the Lord my God this menorah pillar will become a place for worshiping God, and I will give God a tenth of everything he gives me. Genesis chapter 29. Jacob arrives at Paddan-aram. Jacob hurried on, finally arriving in the land of the east. He saw in the distance 3 flocks of sheep lying in an open field beside a well waiting to be watered, but a heavy stone covered the mouth of the well. It was the custom there to wait for all the flocks to arrive before removing the stone. After watering them, the stone would be rolled back over the mouth of the well. Jacob went over to the shepherds and asked them, Where do you live? At Haran, they said. Do you know a man there named Laban, the grandson of Nahor? Yes, we do, they replied. How is he? Jacob asked. He's well and prosperous. Look here. Here comes his daughter Rachel with the sheep. Rachel with the sheep. Why don't you water the flocks so they can get back to grazing? Jacob asked. They will be hungry if you stop so early in the day. We don't roll away the stone and begin the watering until all the flocks and shepherds are here. They replied. As this conversation was going on, Rachel arrived with her father's sheep, for she was a shepherd, and because she was his cousin, the daughter of his mother's brother, and because the sheep were his uncles, Jacob went over to the well and rolled away the stone and watered his uncle's flock. Then Jacob kissed Rachel, and tears came to his eyes. He explained that he was her cousin on her father's side, her her aunt her aunt Rebecca's son. So Rachel quickly went and told her father Laban. As soon as Laban heard about Jacob's arrival, he rushed out to meet him and greeted him warmly. Laban then brought him home, and Jacob told him his story. Just think, my very own flesh and blood, Laban exclaimed. Jacob marries Leah and Rachel. After Jacob had been there about a month, Laban said to him, "You shouldn't work for me without pay just because we are relatives. How much do you want?" Now Laban had two daughters, Leah, who was the oldest, and her younger sister, Rachel. Leah had pretty eyes, but Rachel was beautiful in every way, with a lovely face and shapely figure. Since Jacob was in love with Rachel, he told her father, "I will work for you 7 years if you will give me Rachel, your younger daughter, as my wife." Agreed. Laban replied, "I'd rather give her to you than to someone outside the family. So Jacob spent the next 7 years working to pay for Rachel, but his love for her was so strong that it seemed to him but a few days. Finally, the time came for him to marry her. "I have fulfilled my contract," Jacob said to Laban. Now, give me my wife so we can be married. So Laban invited everyone in the neighborhood to celebrate with Jacob at a wedding feast. That night, when it was dark, Laban took Leah to Jacob, and he slept with her. And Laban gave Leah a servant, Zilpah, to be her maid. But when Jacob woke up in the morning, it was Leah. "What sort of trick is this?" Jacob raged at Laban. "I worked 7 years for Rachel. What do you mean by this trickery?" "It's not our custom to marry off a younger daughter ahead of the firstborn," Laban replied. "Wait until the bridal week is over, and you can have Rachel too. That is, if you promise to work another 7 years for me." So Jacob agreed to work 7 more years. A week after Jacob had married Leah, Laban gave him Rachel too, and Laban gave Rachel a servant, Bilhah, to be her maid. So Jacob slept with Rachel too, and he loved her more than Leah. He then stayed and worked the additional 7 years. 7 years. Jacob's many children, but because Leah was unloved, the Lord let her have a child while Rachel was childless. So Leah became pregnant and had a son. She named him Reuben, for she said, "The Lord has noticed my misery, and now my husband will love me." She soon became pregnant again and had another son. She named him Sion, for she said, "The Lord heard that I was unloved and has given me another son." Again she became pregnant and had a son. She named him Levi, for she said, "Surely now my husband will feel affection for me, since I have given him 3 sons." Once again she became pregnant and had a son. She named him Judah, for she said, "Now I will praise the Lord." And then she stopped having children. Okay, that's all for now. Bye-bye. I don't know where I started. 16. $18. No, I did that. I read that. Okay, I did that. Yeah, I was there. Yeah. Chapter 24 to 30.